Highnesses, Your Excellencies, Reverend Sangha and other delegates, I feel honored to read this congratulatory message for you today on behalf of Swedish Buddhist community, a message that is touching the Buddha's concept of interdependence and how we can relate it to the ongoing global crisis. Pratitya Samutpada, interdependence. It is a central concept in Buddhism. How does it relate to our lives? Most of us are watching or reading news about the difficult current situation in the world with wars, pandemics, and financial crisis that shakes our everyday existence. We are reading about young children who are starving in developing countries, and we are aware of the growing climate crisis on our planet, our only home. It breaks my heart to think about it, and of course, the question arises, how do we continue on? How can we move forward, improving the situation? There are many ideas on how to manage the global crisis, both on mundane and spiritual level. I especially appreciate the teachings of the interdependence and find it helpful, because I believe that when you sincerely analyze the concept of interdependence, you begin to realize on an amazingly profound, heart-touching, and mind-transforming state that we are all connected to each other on an obvious and a more subtle level. If a person close to me does not feel happy, the situation will even affect my life through the actions of words of that person. When we humans, out of greed, destroy Mother Nature, poisoning the ground, we are later eating the food produced by that poisoned earth, and we, as a result, poison ourselves. When we, out of arrogance and self-righteousness, attack our enemies without trying to solve the conflict peacefully, we are placing ourselves and others in danger and create a lot of unnecessary suffering that could have been avoided by a sound resolution. Sometimes I look up in the sky, seeing a multitude of stars, brilliant stars, contemplating how small we are in this vast, endless universe, and that this is the only inhabitable home we know about. We only have this beautiful planet, and we only have each other. Let us therefore all continue to strive towards a better, kinder world. It is necessary for our survival. We should continue to encourage people in understanding the value of loving kindness and compassion, but also a clear understanding of what is better for us, both in the short and the long-term perspective. We ourselves are responsible for that. We are the ones, the entire human race, that create our own karma, our own future. I would like to crown this speech with a beautiful and profound allegory on interdependence, as described by Francis Cook, that I would be delighted to quote. This allegory describes Indra's net, or Indrajala as it is called in Sanskrit. Far away in the heavenly abode of the great god Indra, there is a wonderful net which has been hung by some cunning artificer in such a manner that it stretches out infinitely in all directions. In accordance with the extravagant tastes of the deities, the artificer has hung a single glittering jewel in each eye of the net, and since the net itself is infinite in dimension, the jewels are infinite in numbers. There hangs the jewel, glittering like stars in the first magnitude, a wonderful sight to behold. If we now arbitrarily select one of these jewels for inspection and look closely at it, we will discover that in its polished surface there are reflected all the other jewels in the net, infinite in numbers. Now, not only that, but each of the jewels reflected in this one jewel is also reflected in all the other jewels, so that there is an infinite reflecting process occurring. Now imagine we are all, each one of us, each being, is a sparkling jewel in this infinite net of interconnectedness and interdependence. Each one of us reflects and influences each other. Whichever a change in one jewel in the net, no matter how slight, it will affect all the other. Whatever you do to one jewel, good or bad, affects the entire net, as well as yourself. A single act of kindness and support will spread positive ripples across the infinite net, touching every jewel, every being in existence. Ekaterina Panova, General Secretary for Swedish Buddhist Community. Thank you.